Hello guys, this is my buddy Chris, aka Starrapter on YouTube.
Yep. Alright.
Yep. You got to be in the room for Jedi Fallen Order. I was being a pleb, was sitting on the ground right over there on my phone actually, because I got paranoid that they weren't going to do anything on the Star Wars show stage because they were still talking about Galaxy's Edge at like 5 minutes till the panel started.
Oh no!
Like live, like Anthony Cabrone had like Matt Long and a bunch of matchmakers and stuff up there talking about Galaxy's Edge. So I got worried, and I realized that Ben Walk, the community manager for all the EA Battlefront stuff, or all the EA everything apparently now.
Twitter and all that,
yeah, exactly. He was tweeting out talking about the Twitch.EA. Or the Twitch channel for EA.
Okay.
So I was concerned that that's where they were going to do the thing.
Yeah.
That's where that was where the stream was, and it wasn't going to be on the Star Wars shows live stream or whatever. But luckily, it turns out that no, it did work. But it got to watch it. Got to watch that trailer, and that trailer was a good trailer. Really good trailer.
I feel like this is almost a movie. What we were experiencing, the build-up, right? Just real quick, taking a step back, just talking about being in that room. I have been loving Star Wars video games since as far back as I can remember, going back to Super SNES or Super Nintendo version of A New Hope, right? So I was brought up on Star Wars games. That's arguably what carried me through the dark times with the Old Republic series. Otherwise, if it wasn't for the video games, I might not be here. I might have fallen out of Star Wars completely. Yeah. So I highly regard video games in the fandom as maybe even being on par with the movies. That's how much I love the games. And to be in a room where we're welcoming this single-player game that we haven't actually had since, if I'm doing the math right, I think like maybe a decade at least since The Force Unleashed was really the first. This is going to be the first game since then that's like fully not anything multiplayer yet. Battlefront 2 had the single player, but I had a large multiplayer component. So it was just awesome seeing the creators on the stage. Like these guys really, like you could see like they wanted to be there, and they were so excited. Like, and Respawn as a studio, I highly love these guys because they put together some of the best games. I mean, look at Apex Legends came out of nowhere. That's one of my favorite games of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
And Titanfall and Titanfall 2
are criminally underrated.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was so pumped. Like I had my lightsaber and I was waving it in the air. It was just so great because everybody was just like standing up and clapping because like we're all huge gamers in there. And this is the game we've been waiting for as Star Wars fans. We've been waiting for this game that is going to, and the era that it's set in with this new character, this new male lead is like he's going to be as big as like John Boyega or Poe Dameron, all these other characters. We're welcoming this new character in, Cal. Yeah. So just before they even showed the trailer, I was just so into this panel. Like I'll be honest with you, I was actually enjoying this more than the episode 9 panel. But I'm a little bit biased, I guess, in saying that because I wasn't even in the actual room where that happened.
Oh yeah.
So if I was in the actual room,
being in the actual room, plus, like you mentioned, Star Wars video games is a massive part of your fandom, almost as big as the movies, and I think that's just a testament to what Star Wars can do with multiple different mediums. For some people, like my buddy Edward that I had on talking about the Episode 9 trailer. For him, the books are almost as big as the movies because that's what carried him through the dark times, and that's another massive component to Star Wars fandom. So, yeah, I can totally get that. For some people, the video games are bigger than the movies, and for some people, the TV shows are bigger than the video games. And who knows? It's always a massive gulf and a massive diversity of interests in Star Wars fandom. Hence why. Well, Star Wars fandom's a little bit too big for its own good sometimes, but we won't get into that bit. With that being said, when it comes to the gameplay mechanics, what I'm really excited about is that they very specifically said it's not going to be a button masher because, let's face it, while I really still like occasionally firing up Force Unleashed, you walk around and press the circle button a lot, to just rapid fire your force push and be done. Whereas it looks like this is it's still going to give you the feeling of being a Jedi without just giving you OP ridiculous powers. Where it's going to be almost, I don't know what, because it was all game engine footage, which for people that aren't in the know, game engine footage means nothing. It can convey the feel of a game, but it is not actual gameplay.
Well, what they did say, I loved how Stig mentioned the gameplay is thoughtful combat. Yeah. So, I mean, my first thoughts were, is this going to be more of like a Dark Souls-y type game, right? You're going up, one-on-one. They were talking about the Purge Troopers, these guys that are going to be elite troopers versus your character from the wiping out the Jedi with the Inquisitorius. Now, these guys have these staff weapons. By the way, it was awesome seeing those guys on stage. Yeah. And then the lights went off and they're glowing out red eyes, and I was just geeking out so hardcore there.
I was geeking out staring at my little 5-inch phone screen.
But I could just imagine, you see one of these elite troopers, and you literally are pairing up with this guy. All right, am I going to go in high, low, left, straight, right, or left?
That's what I'm really hoping for. Yeah. That's honestly the only disappointment that I can think of when I'm thinking about this panel is that I wanted to see an actual gameplay demo. However, I've heard rumblings that Let's Play panel that's happening tomorrow might include an early test demo? I don't know. I've heard rumblings about that. Don't quote me.
I mentally prepared myself, judging it on the history of, basically one other game is Battlefront 2. What they did was they showed the trailer with the story content for Celebration Orlando, and then at E3, which is really only 2 months away, not even that, maybe a month and a half, we're going to get that full reveal at EA Play. They'll be doing EA their own live stream, and let's just clear the air right now. This is going to be the biggest game of 2019. Hands down. This game. I don't think there's anything else out there that's coming out that can really put a dent in this thing. Everybody's gonna want this game.
I hope so, man. It does have a real chance of being the new God of War. It could be the next best thing to what the newest God of War was. Where it just completely took the world by storm. And I'm hoping. I want them to succeed so bad.
Yeah. Especially with all the turmoil that EA has had in the previous, a lot with the Star Wars games, right? You see all this whole timeline.
They're still in it. Anthem and everything like that.
Because it goes back to I really wanted 1313 years ago, and we're gonna talk about the trailer in a little bit. We're gonna get there eventually, guys. So hang in there. But seeing that footage kind of reminded me of the first part of the show, 1313 vibes. I'm they're getting that feel. But 1313 debacle, that getting canceled. Then you had Annie Hennig's game, which is going to be a single-player game where you're playing this rogue scoundrel around the galaxy as a survivor of Alderaan. They have all the details that leaked in. It was going to be an incredible story.
Wouldn't that have been nice?
Yeah, and then Battlefront 2, and I love how they cleared the air at the panel right away. They were like, no transactions. Microtransactions, no multiplayer. This is the game we've been waiting for, that fans have been crying for the longest time. We'll probably get it this year.
Yeah, it'll be. It comes out on my birthday, so it makes me happy.
That's awesome.
So I'm happy about that.
Greatest birthday present, man.
Well, we'll see, because it's included with Origin Access.
Oh, that nonsense.
Yeah, they end up doing that Origin Access.
They'll do that whole document with the tier and all that.
Super confusing, but it's super simple, but apparently it's super confusing. Yeah, we will see. But no, either way, I was cynical leading up to this panel, and now I'm now feeling comfortable with getting excited, if that makes sense. I guess it's not even EA. I feel like the problem is that just AAA publishers in general, for the most part, with the exception of maybe CD Projekt Red, they're not making games the way that they should be making them. They're dumping $250 million into making this game look as pretty as possible, and then not giving good, compelling gameplay or content. Or they're trying to recoup the cost of that ridiculous amount of money that they spent on that game by putting in microtransactions or by doing season DLC or everything like that. And that's one thing that I think we can get into, one more thing we can get into before we start talking about the actual trailer. And that is, how are they going to continue on? Should they continue on with developing updates for this game? Obviously, we haven't even gotten the game in the first place yet, so we're talking really, really long-term stuff. But if, for example, will there be, I feel like there's going to be a disappointment no matter what they do. Either they release the full game right away, or not the full game, but they release what they have right now with their original budget, and that's it. Or they're going to have to find another way to monetarily support it in order to continue giving updates out by providing DLC. So will that be paid DLC, or are they going to try and lean on Origin Access to fund it? Or are they going to be able to lean on, how are they planning on continuing to support this game beyond its release date? Because unfortunately, I think that the gaming community in general has gotten spoiled off of the Fortnites and even before that, the Halos and stuff like that, where you would get new DLC to download, or the new Call of Duty too. With okay, there's 4 or 5 expansion packs, and you can go ahead and pick those up and whatever. People expect new things. It feels like gamers especially tend to get bored of content very quickly. So how are they going to continue that forward? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, looking at what's out right now, like single player wise, is there anything we can compare that to necessarily? Like, is there any single player game that has had additional funded through microtransactions content after launch at all?
I mean,
does God of War have something coming out or anything
think so.
like that?
I think. Well, the thing is, that God of War had 45 hours of gameplay or something.
Yeah,
didn't it?
I think I heard something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And or even if not, even if it only had 20 hours of gameplay, that's fine too. If this game has less than 10 hours of gameplay, people are going to be screaming that it's not a complete game.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, keep in mind, just as a heads up, that Force Unleashed was like, I can beat that game in like 5 hours if I wanted to. So, and even when I was, 15 playing it or whatever, when it first came out, I can't remember how old I was, but even when I first played it, I beat it in like 10. So, yeah, games, anyways. But, how are they going to be able to deal with that? I'm hoping that they can figure that out, or I'm hoping that maybe just the gaming community is a little bit more, how do I say this, forgiving, and they appreciate what the story has to offer.
Well, they did make a point saying that they wanted to make the combat something that anybody could really get into, but you could master it. You could really get into the controls and actually master this thing. So that does help out a lot, because I know a lot of people wanted to play Battlefront 2 and they just can't play shooters. Like, they're just terrible. So they want to experience this, diversity of story, and they have a barrier because they just can't control it.
I know a lot of people that have gotten a lot of views off of just throwing out all the cutscenes for Battlefront 2 up on YouTube. So it is important for them to give that accessibility to, and hopefully that might be able to give it some replayability as well.
Yes.
I mean, look at what Dark Souls managed to do. I mean, my kid brother, one of my kid brothers, he still is playing Dark Souls 1. I think he's on like his 30th or 40th playthrough.
Wow.
Because he just wants to keep getting better and better and better, and he's giving himself new challenges, no healing, trying to get no hits on all boss fights.
Wow.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Or no out of boss fight hits. Whatever. It's hopefully this game can do that. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the trailer.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's talk about it.
And man, okay. So, for you guys watching this video, you guys know that I'm just one of those people who desperately loves Jedi Force story stuff. And the fact that he has what looks to be a Jedi Temple Guard blade at the end of that trailer, Did you catch that? Did you?
I was thinking more Old Republic.
Okay. See, now for me, it looks almost identical to what the Inquisitor, the non
Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, well, not
he was a temple guard.
Yeah, exactly. What the not Grand Inquisitor in Kanan's vision in Rebels.
Oh yeah.
Almost to me at least. I haven't looked at any pictures to compare it, but I'm almost certain that it looks I'm pretty certain that it looks like a carbon copy of that. So, and also if it is that case, those are supposed to be yellow. Why is it blue? Did he keep his own kyber crystal around as a spark of hope that he didn't need to keep around? And he put it into what was left of the Temple Guardian saber?
Yeah, and by the way, bringing this up, they did confirm that this lightsaber will be upgradable. So does that mean just stat-wise? That means over the time of the playthrough, does your actual aesthetic change? Like, does the hilt actually change? Right now, it's busted up with wires coming out of the hilts and all that. So that's exciting to me, like hearing that, customization coming into play.
Yeah, you find little bits and bobs and pieces and things. Call back to the Ahsoka novel.
Yeah.
I mean, finding like, oh, this is an important piece of something. I don't know what. Oh, would you look at that? I have a lightsaber. That's going to go in there and give me a +4 to damage. Thank you. But and then the story itself. It's just the idea of being. For what it's worth, I would prefer to get. I don't know. There's really no place to be able to tell this type of story. I feel like the issue with the setting is that you kind of expect that he's either not going to stay as a Jedi. I'm hoping that they manage to still be able to give us a fulfilling story without threatening the beloved Skywalker mythos. People want it only Luke can be around, which I don't personally agree with.
Yeah.
But with that being said, where do they end this story?
I'm thinking the same question, right? So if you look at the actual title, it has Jedi: Fallen Order. I'm thinking that I would love this to be a franchise. Like I would love this to be the story right after Order 66. Then we get Jedi, whatever the title may be for the sequel, where it takes place in the middle of that 30-year gap of him dealing with something else. And I would love to see this character continue already. I really hope that Cal survives because he seems like such a likable character that I can get behind.
Yeah.
And the reason why I really like the beginning of the trailer is that Kanan Jarrus is one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, hands down.
Kanan Jarrus.
So.
I've openly admitted that I had a tough time with Rebels. Not that I didn't like it; it was just that was fun Star Wars.
Yeah.
But the entire last half of season 4 of Rebels, that second half of season 4 of Rebels, Kanan Jarrus just skyrocketed as a character for me at least.
Yeah.
And getting to see that broken pedal and has to deal with that past trauma, I'm hoping that we definitely get to explore that psyche. And those types of motivations, the fear that you must have.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that fear, you have to live in fear if you're a surviving Jedi.
Yeah.
But because of the Jedi dogma, you're not allowed to feel fear. How does that work inside of someone's brain? How does that work inside of a living being's brain? How do those two survive together?
And that is so complex. I love the complexity and the background of this character. Something we haven't really seen in Star Wars. We've seen scavengers, but he's got this profession of being a scrapper.
Yeah, I'm part of the scrapping guild.
Yeah, and
Raxus. I saw somebody on Twitter. Said Raxus Prime 2, Venator Reclamation Boogaloo or something like that.
I love this little canon tidbit that they give us. I always wonder, okay, they go from the Republic to the Empire. What happens to all these Venator class Star Destroyers?
Yeah.
And they literally, that's his job, is to break down these Star Destroyers to probably put into the other Durasteel stuff for the
implants into.
Yeah. So that to me is so cool. We're seeing this whole different side, and it looks like we're going to visit a lot of planets. You see that one planet with all that scrapping going on. mean, the poster has like another kind of more lush planets.
Yeah.
So I hope we go to as many planets as possible.
And then we have that like snow. We have the poster that's got the like snow planet.
Yeah.
Not snow planet, but a snow environment. Snowy mountain environment. I'm ready to play this game. I'm definitely going to be streaming it on Twitch the second it opens up.
Same.
I'm hyped.
Yeah. As a canon fanatic that like absorbs every little thing that comes out, I just started like losing it when I seen the Purge Troopers coming in from Charles Soule's run of Darth Vader. And it was so funny because I actually tweeted at Matt Martin from the story group. When I first seen those troopers, I was like, "Do you guys have a name for these?" And I think he said something like, "What are these, Inquisitor Troopers?" And he said something like that. But I'd like to see them come about with like an official name, Purge Troopers, and having another connection with the second sister. She was in apparently
in
the last issue or something.
Shot. I think he said Vader 19.
Issue 1919. Yeah. So seeing the connectivity with the story group, putting in all these elements, it's just really awesome to see like that Order 66 story that we want to know about. What happened to these Jedi, right? He's got this. Another thing that's really cool is he's got this Jedi Master. I don't know what her name is, or if they even said what her name is, but she's not really a Jedi anymore. They said so. Like that's gonna be cool getting this, this tutelage story of like I guess him continuing his training somehow on the run. I don't know.
I think that the tutelage is going to be more about how to survive. I'm not sure if she's going to train him in any sort of force thing. He's going to learn that for himself, but she's just going to teach him how to be able to survive. If you know what I mean. That's kind of where I feel that they're going. And we'll see what they end up deciding to do with that character and how to get it together. Well, as soon as they started talking about a crew that comes together and becomes family, I'm like, oh, Rebels, okay, I know that one. And then I immediately went, literally every single series, like, you got the same thing. You got the same theme in the sequel trilogy and the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy. It makes sense to have it keep flowing through. And in the Clone Wars.
Plus, we got a new droid. It's an all-new Star Wars stories. What is his name? BD-1 or something like that?
I'm calling him BD.
BD, okay.
BD.
Really cool design. I like the design. It's like macro binoculars mixed with like ATST legs.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he can hover or if he just walks around.
Well, they were doing that B-roll of the
Oh, so you've seen that? Okay, I didn't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were seeing that.
And he was hovering behind his head.
Yeah, he was hovering behind his head.
So
I think he might have we'll have like a repulsor thing. Or something like that.
Yeah, and I do like how he actually serves the function as a flashlight. They said.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this story overall, just from like a tonal perspective as well as like an aesthetic, it's going to be a dark story both visually and thematically.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I mean, come on, like you're gonna have, you're gonna see the Jedi probably get killed. I'm hoping that we see like the Order 66 turn, like the first level of the game. You literally see it happening with the clones turning on you. I love how he actually finds the clone trooper on the ground, pulls out the hologron, and there's the Emperor, Order 66. That was a cool little moment in the trailer.
It was a beautiful moment. It really was. I'm very looking forward to this game. Like I said, I went into this very cynical. One of the reasons why I asked you to be here to discuss with me is because you were very optimistic for this game. And I was very cynical about this game.
Okay.
I was just like, but for what it's worth, I'm allowing myself to be excited now.
Yeah.
Really is. I'm hoping for the best in this game.
It's got so much potential. Like, you look at where it is in the Star Wars timeline, it's at this flashpoint where we have all these major characters still alive. You're going to see Vader in here. If they don't throw Vader in here, that's a huge mistake. I'm thinking maybe even like Darth Maul and his collective of maybe he'll be in there at some point. Maybe he's got to team up with Darth Maul at some point, versus some Inquisitors or something. Yeah. So there's just so many elements. Maybe see like early things of the Rebellion at some point. Like exactly like you brought up earlier. Like where is he gonna fit in with Star Wars timeline? Now you introduce this character, especially it's okay. If you introduce any kind of like non-force sensitive character, but like you said, we have Ezra Bridger, Kanan Jarrus, all these other characters that are force sensitive. Like it's always interesting to figure out like, without ruining the Skywalker legacy, like how they actually work in there. So
it will definitely be something to behold. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah.
Looking forward to November 15th, 2019.
Yeah, or like
Or
I said,
November 12th, Final Origin Access. We'll see. We'll see what they end up doing.
but yeah, also hopefully gameplay in June for E3. So I'm sure they'll announce that pretty soon.
I hope so.
That's like EA's. I think that's EA's biggest game probably. So
Yeah.
That's going to be like all over the place.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell the nice people of the internet where they can find you at.
Yeah, you can find me. Again, my name is Starrapter. I primarily am on YouTube at youtube.com/Starrapter.
That's Raptor with an A, not an O.
With an E.
With an A. What?
Yeah, with an E. STARRAPTER.
TER.
Not the Pokemon, because if you try to type it into YouTube, it might give you like that italicized underline thing. Like, did you mean this Starrapter? And it comes up with like all Pokemon.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, but I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Starrapter, so check that out.
Yep, and there will be a link in the description for his channel.
Yeah, I basically talk about like all the canon comics every week and review those, as well as the TV series like Resistance and all that as well.
Yeah, he's much harder working than me, basically. So, all right. Well, thank you very much, bud.
Thanks. All right, Andy.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to this game. All right, let's go.
All right. Talk to you guys later.